and gentlemen, boys and girls, I had a little bit of an issue with my sending unit previously. This is, well, it certainly looks new, and it is new, and I wired a nice DT connector into it. I was having trouble with fuel level and whatnot until I took everything apart and was reaching in here and messing with everything, and the fuel sending unit is like that far from the bottom of the tank. And since it's so large and only about 7 inches tall, it shows empty fairly easily. But the interesting thing about my tank is it has a well. So the tank can be dry, but there can still be fuel in here. And what it does is it fills this 5.5 liter surge tank. So the fuel tank fills this, the excess just pushes out, and then this is a high pressure feed and return from the front. So even if this is visually, I've done this many times, if that's visually dry, the car runs, idles, and will make wide open hits. So I bought a boat one that goes straight up and down, and I wired that in. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to empty the tank, and I have 2 5-gallon containers of E85, and I'm going to drain what's in here and count it all up. So I have worn gasoline inside out, all over the floor, clothes, everything. And the last time I did it, I promised myself I wouldn't do it again. So when I had this tank empty, I put in a ball valve. And now what's cool is, since I'm going to be working on the tank and emptying it and measuring what's going in, I can just do this and get out 1 gallon at a shot. Count it nice and easy. Look at this. Look at the mess. Look at the giant mess we're creating here. Oh, great heavens. Let's see how much fuel is in this thing. Wow, does it seem... Oh no, it is like laminar. I'm like, man, it seems like it's dribbling. It wasn't. It was coming out like really nice. It was flying. Look at that. There's a gallon. Man, this is one of those things where cars start costing you money, because every time you build one now, you want to do this. Look at, oh geez, oh, I'm setting it on the ground. Look, mama, no hands. Filling our piss jug. Piss jug man. What's that? Something Selena Celica Stop 52 truck stop or whatever, you guys know what I'm talking about? Alright, let's look at that. It's like a faucet in the kitchen. Good gracious. Also, you could easily just put a hose into this fitting and run it down into something, but I was surprised how, I thought I'd be putting the hose on it, but I'm surprised how little house spiggity this is. Let me see if I have other gallon containers before I mix up my measurements. So I did drain this guy all the way out. That is a 0 to 190. It actually says right on it. I got a 0 to 190. That's a 6-inch level, and it floats up and down. I figured it would maybe do less sloshing. Either way, I like that design better than like snaking everything in, etc., etc. So I emptied this, and then I put in 5 gallons right out of one of my fuel jugs. I put it away already. 5 gallons, and that showed 0 fuel or 1. I don't know if, if the bottom is 0 or 1. And then I put 2.5 gallons in. I made notes. So completely dry to 5 gallons showed pretty much 0. 2.5 gallons on top comes out to 7.5 gallons, and that was showing roughly 30%. I added the final 5 gallons, which brought it up to 12.5, and now it's at 100%, and it is extremely high on the lid. I mean, it's basically, it's one of those things, right, where you can go a little bit more than full. Don't mind me, I was making a mess over here, screwing around with fuel. So it is, man, it's an inch or less to the lid. It's right there. It's always hard to tell liquid unless you have like a sight glass. So yeah, you could maybe sneak in a little bit more of that if you're on a trip or something. But that worked out pretty good. The tank is almost exactly 7 inches thick, and they sell a 7-inch, but it says you should have like 7.2 to 8.2 inches. And this was exactly 7. I was like, meh, that's not going to work. So I ran out of some resolution on the bottom, but honestly, when you're at the inch floaty boy left underneath that, you should be getting it. I have bought different caster camber plates because that's like the only thing I haven't replaced. And what I found out was these Foxes are usually a 3-bolt, and I had 4-bolt. And I drilled, I don't even remember doing this, I drilled extra holes to fit the 4-bolt. Well, that might obviously put me in a completely wrong location, because if you look where that guy is, and then this one is in that bolt hole, essentially, because the plate goes so far back, I had to cut all of this out because the shock stem is all the way back here with this guy. Yes, so visually the other one would only go about here, but these will go all the way down here, and I have to cut out, like I did the other side, cut out around the eyelet to get all of that in. This was freaking me out how Fox bodies are so screwy with the different side things like I was talking about. Look at that side, and then look at that side. And what it looks like is they are completely uneven, but if you measure like fender lip or inner fender and there to there and to the firewall and a bunch of other, they're exactly the same. But man, they look messed up.